the moment you realize something is different. You may not have words for it yet, but something inside you has always felt different. A quiet awareness that your life was never meant to follow the ordinary path everyone else seemed comfortable walking. There were moments when you looked around and wondered why people accept things so easily, why they silence their questions, why they ignore the feeling that something deeper is happening beneath the surface of life. If this feeling has followed you for years, this message may reach you at the exact moment you need it, not by accident, but by alignment. And before you go any further, there is something important you must remember. If you truly resonate with this message, the most important thing you can do is stay grounded. Because the truth you are about to hear is not meant to inflate the ego. It is meant to awaken responsibility. The quiet pull toward awareness. For many people, awakening does not begin with excitement. It begins with confusion, a strange inner shift that makes the world feel unfamiliar. Things that once entertained you lose their meaning. Conversations feel shallow. Distractions that once filled your time suddenly feel empty. This is not a coincidence. It is often the first stage of awareness expanding. You begin noticing patterns in people, patterns in behavior, patterns in the way society encourages distraction over reflection. And slowly, the realization begins to form. You are not meant to live unconsciously. The weight of feeling different. Being aware can feel isolating. Many people who walk this path experience long seasons of feeling misunderstood. Friends may not understand your perspective anymore. Family members may question why you have changed. It is not because you believe you are better than anyone. It is because your perception has shifted. You begin to see consequences behind actions, meaning behind events, lessons inside struggles. And that awareness often places you in spaces where silence becomes more powerful than explanation. Why staying grounded matters. When people first start realizing they think differently from the crowd, there can be a temptation to feel elevated above others. But true awakening does not create arrogance, it creates humility. Because the more aware you become, the more you understand how much there is still to learn. Staying grounded protects you from losing your balance. It reminds you that awareness is not a title, it is a responsibility. And responsibility requires patience, discipline, and character. The hidden test of awareness. Many people search for recognition. They want someone to confirm that they are special or chosen. But the real test often comes in silence, when no one applauds you, when no one notices your growth. Awareness grows strongest when it develops quietly. When you continue improving yourself, even when the world does not acknowledge it. Because the purpose of awakening is not attention, it is transformation. The season of isolation. Almost every person who walks a deeper path experiences a period of distance from others. It can feel like life is separating you from environments that once felt normal. At first, this distance can be painful. You may wonder why certain connections fade away. But often those moments create space for clarity. They allow you to hear your own thoughts without the noise of constant influence. The courage to question everything. Awareness begins with questions. Questions about purpose, questions about truth, questions about the systems that shape people's beliefs. Some people avoid these questions because they are uncomfortable. But those who are willing to ask them often begin discovering deeper layers of reality. Not all answers come quickly, but every honest question moves you closer to understanding. Why many people resist awakening. Not everyone is ready to examine their life deeply. For some people, comfort feels safer than truth. They would rather maintain familiar routines than challenge the beliefs they have always known. This is why awakened individuals sometimes face resistance when they speak openly about deeper perspectives. It is not always rejection of you, Often it is fear of change. The strength of quiet discipline. True growth rarely happens in public. It happens during early mornings when no one is watching, during moments when you choose patience instead of reaction. Discipline becomes the quiet foundation of awareness. The ability to control your emotions, the ability to think before speaking. These small choices shape the person you are becoming. Recognizing the signs of inner change. One of the strongest signs of awakening is the shift in what you value. You begin caring less about approval and more about truth. You become more selective about the energy you allow around you. And you start noticing how much peace comes from simplicity. These changes may seem small, but they reveal a deeper transformation taking place inside you. The pressure to stay silent. There may be moments when you feel discouraged from speaking your perspective. Not because your thoughts lack value, but because they challenge comfortable narratives. Throughout history, many people who thought deeply were misunderstood at first. New ideas often feel disruptive before they are understood. This is why staying grounded and thoughtful matters more than reacting emotionally. Learning the power of patience. Awareness does not rush. It unfolds slowly, like layers of understanding revealing themselves over time. Impatience can create frustration when answers do not appear immediately. But patience allows wisdom to grow naturally. And wisdom is far more valuable than quick conclusions. The importance of self-reflection. Awakening is not only about observing the world, it is also about observing yourself. Your reactions, your motivations, your habits. Honest self-reflection requires courage, but it also opens the door to genuine growth. Because real transformation begins within. Why humility protects you. The moment awareness turns into superiority, growth stops. Humility keeps your mind open. It reminds you that every person you meet has experiences that can teach you something. No one holds every answer. And the wisest individuals remain lifelong students, turning struggles into understanding. Difficult experiences often shape the strongest awareness. Moments of loss, rejection, or uncertainty can force deeper reflection. While painful, these moments often carry hidden lessons. They teach resilience, patience, and clarity about what truly matters. Sometimes the hardest seasons create the strongest foundation. The gift of seeing clearly. When your perception begins expanding, you start noticing details others overlook. How words influence emotions, how environments shape behavior. You become more aware of the energy behind interactions. This clarity can be overwhelming at first, but over time it becomes a powerful guide for making wiser decisions. Walking a different path. Living consciously may mean choosing directions that others question. You might value peace over popularity, purpose over comfort. These choices can make your journey look unusual to people around you. But authenticity often requires stepping away from expectations and choosing the path that aligns with your values. Guarding your inner peace. Awareness also teaches the importance of protecting your mental space. Not every argument deserves your attention. Not every opinion deserves your emotional energy. Learning when to step back is a form of strength. Peace becomes easier to maintain when you choose your battles wisely. Understanding the responsibility of awareness. The more clearly you see the world, the more responsibility you carry for how you respond to it. Awareness is not about judging others. It is about living with integrity even when it is difficult. Choosing honesty when dishonesty seems easier. Choosing patience when anger feels justified. The power of quiet influence. Not all influence happens loudly. Sometimes the most powerful impact comes from example. When people observe calm in your behavior during chaos. when they notice consistency in your values. Your actions begin speaking louder than explanations. Trusting the process of growth. There will be days when progress feels slow. Moments when you question whether your efforts matter. But growth rarely announces itself immediately. Often the biggest changes are only visible when you look back months or years later. Consistency quietly reshapes your life. Why awareness requires balance. Thinking deeply is valuable, but balance is essential. If you lose connection with everyday life, awareness can turn into isolation. Grounded individuals remain present in the world while understanding it more clearly. They build relationships. They contribute positively to their communities. Awareness becomes meaningful when it benefits others as well. The strength of staying true to yourself. People may try to convince you to return to familiar patterns. They may question your new perspective. But staying true to your principles requires quiet courage. You do not need everyone to understand your journey. You only need the confidence to continue it. Preparing for the next level of growth. Every stage of awareness prepares you for the next level of understanding. But each new level requires greater maturity, greater patience, greater humility, greater responsibility. This is why staying grounded is so important. Without balance, growth can easily become confusion. Remember why you started. At some point in your life, something pushed you to question deeper. Maybe a challenge, maybe a moment of clarity. Whatever started that journey, it awakened your desire to understand life more honestly. Do not forget that moment, because it continues guiding you forward. The message you were meant to hear. If this message reached you today, take it as a reminder rather than a declaration. Awareness is not a label, it is a path of continuous learning. The most powerful individuals are not those who claim special status. They are the ones who remain disciplined, humble, and grounded while growing stronger within. And that journey begins with the choices you make every single day. A final reminder for those listening. If this message resonated with you, remember this. Stay grounded, stay disciplined, stay patient with your growth. Your awareness is not meant to separate you from humanity. It is meant to help you live with greater purpose and clarity. And if you are committed to walking this path of growth and awareness, make sure you support the mission here. Like this video so more people searching for deeper understanding can find it. Share your thoughts in the comments about the moment you first realized you were seeing the world differently. And subscribe to Return to Awakening for more messages that challenge you to think deeper, live wiser, and continue your journey toward awareness. The strength found in stillness. There will be moments when the world around you becomes loud with opinions, expectations, and pressure to conform. In those moments, your greatest strength will not come from reacting. It will come from stillness. Stillness allows you to observe without immediately judging. It gives you the space to process what others rush past. Most people react instantly, driven by emotion or habit. But awareness teaches a different response. It teaches you to pause, to breathe, to look deeper before deciding how to move forward. And sometimes, the most powerful decision you can make is choosing not to react at all. The silent battle within. Awakening is not only about understanding the outside world. One of the most intense parts of the journey happens internally. You begin noticing parts of yourself that need growth, habits that no longer serve you, reactions that come from old wounds or past experiences. This realization can be uncomfortable. It requires honesty that many people avoid. But this internal battle is also where true transformation begins. Because when you become aware of your weaknesses, you also discover your ability to strengthen them. The ability to see beyond appearances. As your perception deepens, you start realizing that many things in life are not exactly what they seem on the surface. People often present images of confidence while hiding insecurity. Environments that appear successful may actually be driven by fear or pressure. This awareness does not make you cynical, it makes you observant. You begin recognizing that understanding people requires looking beyond their words and paying attention to their actions and patterns. And this deeper perception helps you navigate life with greater wisdom. Why not everyone will understand you? There may be times when you try to explain what you see or feel, and people simply do not relate. They may dismiss your thoughts or misunderstand your intentions. This can feel frustrating, especially when you are speaking from genuine reflection. But part of the journey is accepting that not everyone is meant to understand your perspective at the same time you do. Awareness grows at different speeds for different people. The importance of emotional control. One of the greatest indicators of inner growth is emotional discipline. Awareness teaches you that emotions are powerful, but they should not always dictate your decisions. Instead of reacting instantly, you begin observing your emotions first. You ask yourself why you feel a certain way before allowing that feeling to influence your actions. This small shift creates a powerful difference in how you move through life. Learning when to walk away. There are situations where the strongest action is not confrontation, it is distance. Awareness helps you recognize when a conversation is no longer productive, when an environment drains your energy instead of strengthening it. In those moments, stepping away is not weakness, it is wisdom. Protecting your mental clarity allows you to stay focused on what truly matters. And sometimes the most peaceful decision is choosing silence instead of conflict. The power of observing patterns. People often reveal themselves through repeated behavior. When you become more aware, you start recognizing these patterns clearly. You notice how someone reacts under pressure, how they treat others when no benefit is involved. These patterns speak louder than promises or explanations. And understanding them helps you choose carefully who you trust and who you allow close to your journey. When growth feels lonely, there will be phases where personal growth feels like a solitary road. While others focus on temporary distractions, you may find yourself thinking about purpose, direction, and long-term meaning. This difference in focus can create distance between you and people you once related to easily. But loneliness during growth is often temporary, because as you continue evolving, you begin attracting individuals who share deeper perspectives and values. The discipline of self-improvement. Awareness means little without action. It is easy to think deeply, but true transformation happens when reflection leads to improvement. You begin adjusting your habits, improving your discipline, strengthening your mindset. Small, consistent efforts eventually shape your character. And character determines the direction of your life far more than temporary motivation. Seeing opportunity inside difficulty. Challenges often appear when you are stepping into new levels of growth. Situations that test your patience, obstacles that demand resilience. At first, these moments may feel unfair or exhausting. But over time, you begin realizing that challenges reveal strengths you did not know you possessed. They prepare you for responsibilities that require a stronger version of yourself. Remaining calm in a reactive world. The modern world often encourages instant reaction. Social media rewards quick responses, arguments escalate rapidly, opinions spread faster than thoughtful reflection. But individuals who remain calm in chaotic environments develop a unique advantage. They think before speaking, they observe before judging. And this calmness allows them to respond with clarity rather than emotion. Protecting your energy. Not every conversation deserves your attention. Not every conflict deserves your involvement. Awareness teaches you to protect your energy carefully. When you constantly engage in negativity, your clarity begins to weaken. But when you choose where to focus your attention, your mind remains sharp and balanced. Energy directed wisely becomes a powerful tool for growth. Understanding your inner voice. As you spend more time reflecting, you begin recognizing the difference between outside influence and your inner guidance. The world constantly offers opinions about how you should live, what you should value, and what success should look like. But your inner voice often points toward a path that feels quieter and more authentic. Learning to trust that voice requires patience and confidence. Yet once you begin listening to it consistently, your decisions become clearer. The discipline of staying humble. As awareness grows, one of the most important qualities you must protect is humility. It becomes easy to feel frustrated when you see things others overlook. Easy to believe that your understanding places you above the crowd. But true growth moves in the opposite direction. It softens arrogance and strengthens humility. Because the deeper you look into life, the more you realize how complex everything truly is. Humility keeps your mind open, it keeps you learning, and it keeps you grounded when pride tries to quietly take control. Recognizing the illusion of control. Many people move through life believing they control every outcome. But awareness slowly reveals that life is far more unpredictable than we like to admit. Plans shift, circumstances change. What you truly control is not every event. What you control is your response. Your discipline, your integrity, your patience when things do not unfold as expected. And those responses shape your character far more than the events themselves. Why patience becomes your greatest ally. Growth rarely arrives quickly. Most meaningful transformation happens slowly, through repeated effort and quiet persistence. This is where patience becomes essential. Without it, people abandon their path before progress becomes visible. But those who remain steady through long periods of slow improvement eventually see powerful results. Patience is not passive. It is the strength to continue moving forward without immediate reward. The clarity that comes from distance. Sometimes you must step back from situations to understand them fully. When you are emotionally involved in every conflict, your perception becomes clouded. Distance allows perspective to return. You begin seeing the bigger picture instead of only the immediate emotion. And that perspective often reveals solutions that were invisible in the heat of the moment. Why integrity matters more than recognition. Many people measure success by attention or praise. But attention can be temporary, and praise often depends on opinion. Integrity operates on a deeper level. It means doing what is right even when no one notices, choosing honesty even when dishonesty would be easier. And over time, integrity builds a reputation that no amount of temporary approval can replace. The value of listening more than speaking. Awareness teaches you that listening is often more powerful than speaking. When you truly listen, you begin understanding people beyond their surface words. You hear the emotions behind their statements, the fears behind their frustrations. Most individuals are waiting for their turn to talk rather than trying to understand. But those who listen carefully gain insight that others completely miss. Learning from every experience. Each moment in life carries a lesson, even if it is not immediately obvious. Positive experiences show you what to continue doing. Difficult experiences show you what to avoid or change. Awareness allows you to extract meaning from both. Instead of viewing events as random, you begin asking what each situation is teaching you. And that mindset transforms ordinary experiences into powerful sources of wisdom. The quiet strength of self-control. There will always be moments that test your patience, situations that provoke frustration or anger. But one of the clearest signs of inner growth is the ability to control your response. Self-control does not mean suppressing emotions completely. It means acknowledging them without allowing them to dominate your actions. This discipline gives you power over circumstances that once controlled you. When the world feels overwhelming, there may be days when everything feels heavy, too much noise, too many expectations, too many responsibilities. In those moments, awareness reminds you to slow down. You reconnect with the present moment instead of worrying about every possible outcome. You focus on what you can do today instead of becoming overwhelmed by everything ahead. And step by step, clarity returns. The importance of inner stability. External situations constantly change. Success and failure both appear at different times in life. But inner stability allows you to remain steady regardless of those shifts. When your sense of identity depends entirely on outside validation, your confidence rises and falls with every opinion. But when your stability comes from within, external circumstances lose their power to shake your direction. This inner foundation becomes one of your greatest strengths. Understanding the journey never ends. Awareness is not a destination you reach once and then stop growing. It is a lifelong process of learning, adjusting, and expanding your understanding. Each stage of growth reveals new questions and deeper perspectives. And that continuous discovery keeps your mind alive and evolving. The moment someone believes they have learned everything is the moment growth begins to slow. The power of choosing your circle. As you awaken, the people you spend time with will matter more than ever. Those who support shallow perspectives or constantly spread negativity can drain your energy. Awareness teaches you to select companions who uplift, challenge, and inspire growth. This doesn't mean isolating yourself completely. It means creating a space where your mind can expand without unnecessary resistance. Surrounding yourself wisely strengthens your path and protects your inner peace. Why solitude can be sacred. Moments of solitude are not punishment or loneliness, they are a gift. In quiet, your thoughts become clear, your intuition sharpens, your energy recalibrates. Many fear being alone because it forces them to face truths they have avoided. But those truths are the very keys to your growth. Solitude allows you to reconnect with your authentic self, free from external pressures. The art of observing without judging. Awakening teaches you to see the world with clarity, but without attaching judgment to every observation. People make mistakes, situations unfold chaotically, outcomes are unpredictable. Instead of labeling events as good or bad, awareness encourages you to seek understanding. You notice patterns, motives, and consequences without being consumed by them. This objectivity allows you to act with wisdom rather than reaction. The strength in resisting immediate gratification. The modern world tempts you with instant rewards, shortcuts, and distractions. Awakened individuals learn to resist these impulses. They understand that meaningful growth often requires delayed gratification. Each choice to stay disciplined builds the strength to handle greater responsibilities later. Patience and persistence become far more valuable than temporary satisfaction. Embracing uncertainty. Life rarely unfolds exactly as planned. Awareness teaches that uncertainty is not a threat, it is an invitation. An invitation to grow, adapt, and strengthen your resilience. Instead of fearing the unknown, you begin seeing it as a landscape of opportunity. Each challenge becomes a chance to prove your inner strength and clarity. The gift of perspective. With awareness, you start seeing situations from multiple angles. What once seemed negative may carry hidden lessons. What seemed unfair may reveal a deeper truth. This perspective prevents you from becoming trapped in resentment or frustration. It allows you to move forward with greater understanding and calm confidence. Balancing action with reflection. Awareness is not passive. It demands action, but action guided by reflection. Acting impulsively may lead to mistakes, while overthinking may cause stagnation. The balance comes when you pause, analyze, and then proceed with intentionality. Every choice becomes more informed, deliberate, and aligned with your values. Learning to let go. Some experiences, people, or expectations are not meant to remain in your life. Awakening teaches the strength of letting go gracefully. Attachment to things that no longer serve you can drain energy and blur clarity. By releasing what is unnecessary, you create space for growth, insight, and new opportunities. The quiet power of consistency. Big changes are rarely instantaneous. Consistency, even in small actions, builds momentum that compounds over time. Daily reflection, discipline, and alignment with your purpose shape the person you are becoming. Even moments that feel insignificant contribute to the larger path of awakening. Seeing beyond immediate reactions. Most people respond to life emotionally. Awakened individuals pause, observe, and respond thoughtfully. This ability to step back prevents unnecessary conflict and creates opportunities for solutions others overlook. Your reactions become tools rather than traps. The role of compassion in growth. Awareness does not lead to cold detachment. It cultivates empathy. You begin understanding the struggles, fears, and blind spots of others. Compassion allows you to connect without losing your own boundaries. It turns understanding into a quiet strength rather than a weakness. Recognizing life cycles. Everything in life moves in cycles: growth and rest, joy and challenge, expansion and contraction. Awakening teaches you to move with these rhythms rather than fight them. Patience and observation allow you to anticipate lessons and navigate challenges gracefully. Each cycle prepares you for the next stage of your journey. The subtle strength of observing your thoughts. Your mind constantly generates thoughts, many of which are fleeting or unproductive. Awareness teaches you to notice them without being carried away. Observing thoughts allows you to choose which to act on and which to release. This creates mental clarity and reduces unnecessary emotional turbulence. Turning challenges into opportunities. Difficulties are not roadblocks, they are teachers. Every challenge presents an opportunity to practice patience, resilience, and clarity. Instead of resisting difficulty, awareness encourages you to see what it can reveal. Each obstacle becomes a stepping stone toward greater wisdom. The discipline of protecting your time. Time is one of your most valuable resources. Awakening teaches you to invest it intentionally, avoiding distractions that do not serve your growth. Boundaries with people, habits, and commitments create space for reflection and focus. Protecting your time ensures that your energy remains aligned with your purpose. The subtle influence of your energy. Awareness reveals that your presence affects others more than words do. Calmness, clarity, and intention radiate and influence the environment around you. Even when silent, your energy communicates strength, confidence, and wisdom. This is why inner cultivation becomes as important as outward action. Mastering the balance between giving and receiving. Awakened individuals understand that giving without boundaries can drain them. Equally, refusing to receive can create stagnation. The key is balance, contributing your energy where it aligns with purpose while replenishing yourself intentionally. This balance sustains growth and influence over time. Recognizing the power of small choices. Every choice matters. Even minor decisions create ripple effects in your life. Awareness brings attention to these moments, allowing you to act deliberately. Small acts of discipline, honesty, and reflection accumulate into profound transformation. Nothing in your journey is insignificant. The role of silence in deepening awareness. Silence is not emptiness, it is space for insight. In quiet, you hear what noise often drowns out: intuition, clarity, and subtle truths. Moments of silence restore energy and strengthen perception. Those who embrace silence often see more clearly than those who fill every moment with distraction. The power of walking your own path. Finally, awakening requires courage to walk paths others may not understand. Your journey will look different. Your choices may challenge societal norms. But authenticity demands this courage. Walking your own path with integrity and awareness is the ultimate expression of being truly awakened.